My name's Elior. I'm originally from London, but currently living in Tel Aviv in Israel. I flew in here like a few days ago. I had to get 3 different flights to get here. You know, when I came last year, there was a lot of basically love and support for like Palestinians and the people like suffering in Gaza, which I think is great and really important. But at the same time, it's usually followed up with, you know, calls for violence against Israel or to, you know, boycott Israel or, you know, as we've seen here, you know, death to the IDF, things like that. And yeah, I think with all that going on, I think it's really important for Jews and Israelis and people that are proud of their Zionism to kind of come here and, you know, share their own activism and to be a presence here and show that we're not, you know, afraid to be in those spaces. And as much as they try to like exclude us, you know, we are going to be here and we are going to be leaving our mark. I think my general feeling, and I think from others that I've spoken to as well, I don't think I would feel necessarily safe, you know, like waving an Israeli flag or like being openly Jewish or Israeli here, just because of the, you know, there seems to be a lot of hostility towards, you know, Jews and Israelis here. I am trying to, you know, raise awareness in the way that I can. You know, I've been putting up stickers, chatting to some of the people that I'm, you know, here with to, you know, raise awareness and kind of help educate them on some of the stuff that's actually going on. Some people have sort of asked me where I've sort of been living or where I've come from, and you know, when I tell them I flew in from Tel Aviv or I've been living in Israel, it kind of shuts the conversation down a bit for some of them. They're like, oh, okay. Others, you know, are kind of genuinely supportive or find it interesting. So yeah, there's definitely been sort of mixed groups.
I know it's tough. I mean, like, you know, to a certain extent, they can't necessarily control, you know, the flags people are bringing and what some of the acts are saying. But at the same time, you know, when acts like Kneecap have been, one of them has been charged with terrorism, it's going to allow those kind of people to have a platform, knowing that, you know, they're probably going to be bringing controversy, going to be, you know, chanting things and like riling up the crowd in ways that won't make Jews feel unsafe. I think being able to, you know, take action, like whether it's, you know, not having them before or making sure they are, you know, basically told to not be spewing hate. Obviously, I'm all for free speech. At the same time, when you're inciting violence and calling for the death of certain people, that's something that should be taken really seriously and not something that should just be allowed in the name of free speech when it can cause real serious harm. You know, I walk around, I see a lot of Palestinian flags, I see a lot of people chanting free Palestine. I know for a lot of Jews and Israelis that can make you feel quite scared, quite isolated. I would say, you know, there's a very, very big festival. It's basically a city here. There are a lot of spaces that, you know, are more welcoming than others. I would say, come try it out. Find your people, find the areas that make you feel more welcome and just enjoy yourself.
Yeah.